While not the first Undead-themed series, the Unwanted Undead Adventurer does something fresh with the concept. Furthermore, it embraces some edge while remaining focused on rather grounded fighting. If you want to see more anime recommendations like the Unwanted Undead Adventurer, don't miss this video. Number 10. Skeleton Knight in Another World. A man falls asleep while playing an online game and wakes up as his in-game character, Ark, in the game's world. After swiftly acclimating to his new surroundings, he discovers that he selected a skeleton avatar, which forces him to hide his face in order to avoid drawing attention. In an attempt to fulfill tasks and become an adventurer, Ark goes to the adjacent castle town of Luvirdi. Equipped with superhuman powers, he sets off on a thrilling adventure, venturing into new realms, vanquishing foes, and supporting others in trying circumstances. Yet his seemingly innocuous deeds can draw him into an impending battle that might irrevocably alter the course of the realm. Although the Unwanted Undead Adventurer concentrates on Rentt's strength, Skeleton Knight in Another World features Ark as one of the strongest people in that universe. Hence, rather than gaining strength, the narrative follows him as he becomes involved in an intrigue plan. Number 9. So I'm a spider, so what? The main character was once a typical high school student who converted into a spider monster in a magical world. To add to the difficulty, she awoke in a dangerous dungeon filled with savage monsters. With nothing but my human mind and a positive attitude, she must rely on her spider webs and creative traps to defeat superior opponents and avoid death. This is the start of a tragic story about a young woman's incredible mental fortitude as she endures as one of the labyrinth's weakest animals. Similar to the Unwanted Undead Adventurer, the plot revolves around the idea that a creature would eventually evolve into a new form if it fought and won enough battles. However, So I'm a Spider. So what focuses more on the struggle of that and also limits the contact that the main character has with others. Number 8. Berserk of Gluttony. Due to the fact that he was born with the magical skill of gluttony, which never leaves him satiated, Fate Barbados is no stranger to feeling helpless. Because of this, he has always been the target of mockery and rejection in life. But all changes when he fights a trespassing thief and learns the true power of gluttony while serving as a gatekeeper for a royal household. Fate understands that he may finally sate his unquenchable need by absorbing the powers of the dead. With this fresh insight, Destiny gains the courage to reach his full potential. Now the issue is how many lives he will devour to feed his appetite, and if the world can hold up against the terrifying warrior he will become. Both the Unwanted Undead Adventurer and Berserk of Gluttony have the same basic plot. They feature incredibly weak main characters who are presented with a way to get stronger by defeating tougher enemies. Number 7. Overlord. At precisely midnight, the wildly popular virtual reality game Yggdrasil comes to an end. Momonga, the formidable sorcerer and head of the notorious Dark Guild Ain Zulgaon, decides to go through to the very end of the game in spite of this. To his astonishment, though, Momonga doesn't lose awareness even as the game's servers begin to go down. It's a rather strange development that the non-player characters in the game seem to have grown distinct personalities. This unexpected change of events throws Momonga off course, so he rallies his devoted followers to solve this enigmatic phenomenon and take over this new universe. While both are good fantasy storylines, Overlord is an isekai anime that focuses on politics and larger magic-based fights. This stands in stark contrast to minor engagements, when Rentt is largely a melee combatant. Number 6. Goblin Slayer. On her first day as a porcelain-ranked adventurer, a 15-year-old priestess joins an inexperienced party to free village ladies who have gone missing and are being kept hostage by goblins. Regretfully, their inexperience causes them to be defeated during an ambush in a cave. The Goblin Slayer, who dispatches the whole goblin colony with ease, saves the scared priestess. As a silver-ranked adventurer, the Goblin Slayer invites the priestess to accompany him on his quest to destroy every goblin in the region. The skilled Goblin Slayer teams up with a high elf, dwarf, and lizardman, and swears to do whatever it takes to guarantee the total annihilation of all goblins. In both anime you follow quiet main characters and their companions as they are constantly looking for their next fight. However, while the Unwanted Undead adventure has an element of strategy, Goblin Slayer is definitely a lot more focused on it. Number 5. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? For young, inexperienced Belle Cranel, who hopes to become the best adventurer in the land, Orario, the vibrant, busy city, offers limitless excitement. The lonely goddess Hestia, whom he meets by coincidence, moves him one step closer to realizing his ideal. Belle sets off on an amazing adventure with her unflinching backing, exploring the city's monster-infested tunnels. Dubbed the Dungeon, a strange power lurks in the shadows of this labyrinth, where death awaits you at every turn. Both series are very much action-adventure fantasy anime, where the main character is always going towards the next big battle. While Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon is definitely a little more flashy with its action. Number 4. Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. A group of strangers who have been thrown into a hostile environment with no recollection of their past must struggle to survive amid vicious beasts. While the strong quickly band together, the weak are left to make a patchwork group of their own. Monado, a priest with a magnetic personality. Haruhiro, an anxious thief. Yume, a lively hunter. Shihoru, a bashful mage. Moguzo, a gentle warrior. And Ranta, a boisterous dark knight. The world they live in, which resembles a game, is everything, but the sole option is to murder or be killed. This varied and inexperienced group now has to battle together, depending on one another, to survive in a world where there's only a thin line separating them from death. If you enjoyed the more grounded approach to fantasy that the Unwanted Undead adventurer put on display while still highlighting the darkness of the situation, Grimgar offers the same, but in a lightly isekai experience. Number 3. The Faraway Paladin. Following a life of boredom, Will is reborn into a universe that is completely different from anything he has ever experienced. He opens his eyes to see the faces of a mummy, a ghost, and a skeleton in this new reality. Raising Will as if he were family, they share the disciplines of warfare, sorcery, devotion to one's chosen deity, and most importantly, love. As he grows older and begins to explore this strange, new world, Will realizes that there is a lifelong vow he must undertake, a rite of passage that every individual must go through. By dedicating themselves wholly to a chosen deity, they receive their blessings in return, the strength of which depends entirely on the depth of their loyalty. Both tell good stories in interesting worlds, regardless of a lack of marketable flashy action. They focus on combat fundamentals and strategy to beat the enemies they encounter as they adventure. Number 2. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. A 37-year-old corporate worker in Tokyo, Satoru Mikami is happy with his boring life that is, until he doesn't find a girlfriend. One day, while he was walking down the street talking to a coworker, he was attacked by an unknown attacker and left critically injured. A weird voice talks to him as he lies dying, giving him a string of unintelligible instructions. Upon awakening, Satoru discovers that he has been reborn as a shape-shifting slime on a strange new planet. Using his newfound powers, he encounters Veldora, a formidable monster imprisoned for 3 millennia. In exchange for his pledge to assist Veldora in breaking the seal, Satoru receives heavenly protection and the name Rimuru Tempest. With a specific goal in mind, Rimuru sets off on a trip to discover this new planet. While both series focus on non-human creatures who constantly gain new evolutions through combat, That Time I Reincarnated as a Slime is much larger in scale. Number 1. Reincarnated as a Sword. Unlike other isekai heroes, who are resurrected as formidable warriors or accomplished wizards, our protagonist has an unusual rebirth in his new life as a conscious sword. Fortunately, Fran, a little girl escaping her captors, is brought to use the amazing weapon by fate. Fran defeats her captors and wins her freedom, thanks to the sword's wisdom and direction. Together, the unlikely pair sets out on a journey to punish the evil and free the oppressed. Both the Unwanted Undead adventurer and Reincarnated as a Sword tell small, very straightforward stories of main characters that are looking to level up. What the Unwanted Undead adventurer and Reincarnated as a Sword share is a dedication to action. Looking for the next fight is usually the only sort of plot they have. Do you know of any other anime series that are similar to the Unwanted Undead adventure? Tell fans in the space provided for comments below. Hi, and I'll see you in the upcoming video.